Sports Radio 1140, The Fan.
Talkin Money.
The action continues now with Talkin Money and Jeff Tarbell.
All right, that's me. How you doing?
Hello, hello.
We did get 3 winners for our Hellwig quiz. So I'll tell you what we'll do, so we can just get all these guys on the same page. We'll take the next 2 callers who just can go. Wait, you got one more? Okay, so we're down to 1 then. Well, we'll just hold that out for.
Keep it going.
Okay, so our quiz question was, approximately. This is an estimate, but they've kind of done the math and they figure. What'd you say? So that every event will be online during the day?
Yeah, every event will be online, streamed. No event will not be covered somehow.
Wow. Okay. So then you gotta figure out, okay, there's 24 hours in a day, and how many days in the Olympics? 2 weeks. So you start adding up the math. Yeah, but then you got to figure that there's an event. So they're going to take. It's like if there's 4 events going in the same 10-minute window, they'll have them on 4 different things. So that's 4 times the 10 minutes. So
your math is good.
Well, I'm running out of fingers. So I got this one though. How's this one look? Okay, good.
It's straight.
Yeah. So we've got so Beijing was like you said 1,000 hours, or was it?
Beijing actually we didn't say, but Athens was 1,210.
Okay. Beijing
bumped to 3,600.
Oh, okay. So
London's coming in.
So I'm gonna I don't know if Beijing, if they had everything online. So I would guess then maybe double what Beijing would be, or
not quite.
Okay.
Yeah, about 55, 35 they're saying. So 5,500 hours of Olympic showing.
Either online or on TV. So
it's pretty interesting if you think about it, because they're going to be showing all these streaming all over the place, but they're still trying to see what the results will be at prime time.
Yeah, because you don't generally you don't make any money from big advertisers by streaming stuff on the internet during the day while we're at work. So what happens? What happens to you? So if you're a viewer or interested in the Summer Olympics, and by the way, the Summer Olympics generally do about 15 to 20% more than the Winter Olympics do in terms of viewership. So we were just talking about this during the break. So you are sitting at work, and the other problem they have is, and the reason they're doing that, I think, is that you've got Twitter and you got all the other things too, so you can't hide anything anymore.
Right.
If Michael Phelps goes out and kicks everybody's butt 9 times in a row, everybody in the world's going to tweet it out. So you're not, if you don't put it out there, it's not like anybody won't know what's going on. So I think they've taken the cue. Then okay, forget it. If people are going to find out anyway, we might as well make them be able to watch it. So here's the question: if you find out during the day, that using Phelps or whoever, someone sets a world record or something like that, do you then say, oh, okay, well, he won, so I won't go home and watch it at night? Or do you go home and say, well, I got to see that?
Right.
See below that. That's what they're hoping on. They're hoping that the diehard fans who are into the track or whatever will talk about it throughout the day. Oh, man, I watched this morning online. This guy just kicked the snot out of this guy. Everybody will go home and watch it. They've got $1 billion in advertising. I mean, NBC paid $1 billion something for the Olympics. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of 30-second commercials they better sell.
And they're calling it the $1 billion lab. This is a test.
Yeah, so the next Olympics might go for like $648 because nobody wants to pay any money for watching that. So that'll be interesting to see. Okay, that's good. So did we give away all our Renegades? You got one more Renegade? I'll tell you what we'll do then right now. If you can just dial this number, 339-1140, and you want to go to the Renegade concert at the Hellwig Amphitheater on July 28th at 8 p.m., not 8 a.m. If you get there at 8 a.m., you're going to be hammered by the time the concert comes. But I'm encouraging you to get out there at 8 a.m. and just get your lighter going and start drinking.
Yeah, at least you can view Tahoe and the downtown Sacramento all at the same time. It's beautiful up there.
That place is awesome. So we have one spot left. You don't have to answer any question other than your name and your address. So if you want to go to that, don't text us. Give us a call, 339-1140, and we'll give you that last winning pair of tickets to go up and see the Renegade, which is the tribute to Styx and other great rock classics for July 28th. Speaking of money and doing things, I'm going to do a little text giveaway here. And I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to pick the winner in my own mind and pick them off the text line here. I'm going to send them a free one-day beverage machine rental for Mix It Up. Mix It Up, the frozen beverage machine rental. And I will Yeah, I'll just pick one and send it out to them. I'm trying to find, I think it's mixitup.com. Look that up, John, if you can on there and see if we've got the right the website for those guys. And so here's my question. As I may have mentioned to you over the last few weeks, I believe that my house is sold. I'll know for sure on Monday when the buyer has to put up their non-refundable deposit. I hope it's sold because I've already got my stuff moved out of it, and
You're moving.
And I'm already in escrow on another place. So here's my question for you. You want to be designers or home builders or home buyers or home remodelers. On my next house, I'm knocking on wood. I intend this next place is a little more country-ish and a little more relaxed. And so my goal when I remodel this place is to keep some restraint, keep it this kind of a nice, reasonable place. Our existing house when we remodeled it, we did it up pretty nice, and I'm glad we did because the buyer likes it. But so if you had the chance, what is the one item so this house basically I need to kind of gut it out a little bit, and I'm
still betting you're going to tear it down.
I'm not going to tear it down. The walls are fine. I'm going to tear out the inside a little bit, but what is that one item that if you're going to remodel your house or build a new house, you've got to have in there? So regardless of expense, so you say, okay, look at, buy cheap doors or buy cheap carpet or buy cheap light, whatever you want to do, save your money somewhere else. What is that one item that you got to spend your money on and put in? And don't tell me air conditioning or windows or front door. I got that covered. But what is the one item that I have got to put in my house, or you would put in your house, regardless of, you say, you know what, I'll blow my whole budget on this. And I'll give you some ideas because and you tell me what you think is what you would do. But the place does not have a swimming pool, and certainly this week.
I heard there's some water in the backyard.
there's a swamp. Yeah, I don't know if we can clean that out.
Make that into a ski lake.
No, it's not. It's
not big enough.
It's a facility for growing bugs and frogs, which I'm going to bury.
Kim likes bugs and frogs.
No, she does not like bugs and frogs. So you can text me. We'll do a little text quiz here. 441140. What would you do? What's that one item you got to have? I mean, are you one of those guys that just loves to cook? You got to have like the big Viking,
right?
Cook. I mean, in our house, if we didn't even have a stove, we just had the microwave only. Nobody would even know.
Sub-zero refrigerator.
Sub-zero refrigerator is
kegerator. My mind's starting to go now. It's starting to work.
All right, so think about your one item there, John.
Mix it up machine.
Yeah, that'd be good. It could be inside. It could be outside. What is that? It could be electronics. It could be, what is that one thing where, like, if you're going to remodel your house, you're going to build a new house, you just say, okay, give me a budget, give me a list, and like number one on your list is do this. I'll sleep on the ground if I just got to have this, this one item. It doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be, what is it that you think? So you can text me your ideas, 441140. I'll pick out the one I like or the one that's most. And there already get some text coming through. So it could be selfish, like, I know this is totally stupid, but I just want this, or it could be very pragmatic, like, hey, you put that money in that item, and everybody in the world will buy that house because of it. So I'm not trying to lead you in a different direction. 441140. Let me know what you think is the one item, and we'll pick out a winner here before the end of the first hour and give them the Mix It Up.
And then Mix It Up is at mixitup.biz. Mixitup.biz will show you your margarita machine.
Okay, cool. So I'll hold that out, and I will give that to one of our winners there. I was just kind of reading through this article a little bit more during the break, as I mentioned in the first break. I spent a couple days down in San Francisco at this mortgage conference, and as I mentioned, you're going to hear more and more of this. It's the CFPB, which is Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. And while they carry the hammer to our industry, the consumer will hear about them. And as I mentioned, this is a group that I don't think has a great grasp on what the mortgage industry is or does or needs. But regardless, they're in charge of taking the reins and making sure that there are some implementing some changes that need to be made according to the people that make rules.
Still kind of frightens me.
Yeah, so this gives you an example of what bureaucracy means. Currently, if you come to do a loan from us, you are at least by law required to get 2 documents. You get about 202, but there's 2 of them you got to get within 3 days, and they have to be right. One of them is the good faith estimate, and one of them is the truth in lending disclosure. The good faith estimate currently is a 3-page document. It talks, and it's a confusing as hell 3-page document because someone who's outside the industry drafted it. But nonetheless, it talks about this is your rate, these are your costs, does the loan have a prepayment penalty, blah, blah, blah. There's 3 pages there of different things. Then you get a separate 1-page or sometimes 2-page truth in lending document that talks about, that's the one that shows you the APR, and if you make every payment for 30 years, the big large number on the right, how much interest you'll pay, blah, blah, blah. So the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau wants to streamline those 2 documents into one new form, one 3-page form. And to give you an idea, so this is a group that wants we're trying to streamline now these documents. The proposal discussing the streamlining of these documents is 1,099 pages long. So it takes 1,000, almost 1,100 pages to describe to you how we're going to get down from 4 pages to 3, or 5 pages to 3. And that is a problem.
And what's the timeline on this?
Soon. Many lenders, they have public comment until November 6th, and we expect by 2014 this will be in place. And here's where they start discussing mortgage lenders will have to charge a flat fee for processing a loan, ending the practice of calculating fees as a percentage of loan size under proposal by the CFPB. That one is probably, if I knock on wood, probably not going to make it. I know they're going to try to come out with it. I actually think that the consumer groups, not the lenders, will come out against that. And they'll say, hey,
hopefully so.
You are not helping me as a consumer by telling that lender that they have to charge me a flat fee for my $100,000 loan. Right. The same fee they're going to charge a guy for a $400,000 loan or a $4 million loan. That isn't going to be good. And the other thing the other one that's coming out is this qualified mortgage. This is a term that you're going to hear more and more of that is really starting to scare people. Qualified mortgage, and are you? In the definition gets into, are you really able to afford this mortgage? Is this the right home for you? Are you getting it over your head? Is the loan type right? There's a lot of things under this, what they call QM, that are being discovered that are burdensome. So some of the things that they're trying to do, we already do. For example, if we produce a good faith estimate for you, and we can't change the fees by the time you go to escrow. So that was a common practice, right? You'd say, "Oh yeah, no, this would happen. No points," and you get there and there's a 1.5 charge. Well, we discovered we didn't like your credit. So when a lender puts out a good faith estimate, there's no variation. That's called box A. That's the fees of bank charges. There's no when you get to escrow, unless they redisclose for something material that changed. And then, like, the escrow fees can change by 10% or something minor, something that we don't control. So, anyway, this is a little bit scary, but it's coming, and it's going to do one thing. We got to take one more break there. Okay, we ran late on the first segment. We'll do that too. You get into the quiz question for us at 339-1140. We are getting some. We're getting a lot of items on my 441140 text, things you must or you would put in your house. I'll read some of these after the break, too. And all of these are very, very good suggestions. The dungeon, probably my favorite, but I'll come next to the stripper pole. I'm not sure whether you put the stripper pole in the dungeon. These could be, we could combine these things. Oh, boy. Yeah, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 if you want to answer our quiz question, which is? Dig it? Can you dig it? There's a company out there, dig.com. D-I-G-G. D-I-G-G.com. And interesting enough, it currently it sold or is in for sale. It's a social media type. And over the time, it's raised $45 million from investors, folks that invest in LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Yeah, Google was going to buy that one there.
They were. At one time, Google was going to buy it.
How much?
$200 million.
Sweet.
Yeah, in 2008, Google was rumored to buy it for $200 million.
Okay.
And it currently sold. How much did it sell for?
This week, dig.com sold for how much? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. You can text us at 441140, and I will give the first 3 correct answers a pair of tickets to the Sacramento River Cats. Professional baseball in Sacramento. Professional baseball that's already here. This is Talkin Money. My name is Jeff Tarbell. That's John Fodorero. We'll be
right back.